pre-interview traditions?
Turn left onto Wilson Avenue.
I don't know. I definitely have some. I like to get a nice slow pump at the weight room before I interview. A very boring one, but you know, I like to get the endorphins going, but I don't want to get
Continue on Wilson Avenue for 3/4 of a mile.
I don't want my pores to be open, you know, I don't want to be like raining sweat down in the middle of an interview. Perspiration, last time I checked, is a sign of anxiety and nervousness to the ill-informed. And so just something that gets the endorphins going, that's a decent challenge, but not something that I would do like for training per se. You know, just a nice slow pump, high repetition, slowly go up in weight, but nothing that's going to get, you know, I wouldn't call it a very hard go. And I definitely, I like to go easy on the eats before interviews. I don't want to stuff my face before I interview because it just might get me lethargic. You know, I like to have a nice clear palate too. And, you know, honestly, I don't really do much of the preparing. It's the companies that interview me that need to prepare. They're the ones doing homework, looking me up, looking up my social media if they have a brain, watching videos such as this. But, you know, I don't know. The work for me is done. Not just because I have my degree and I have work experience in the industry, but I mean, you know, I'm the one that went out to them and contacted them. And like I always say, as cheesy as it sounds, I'm the one interviewing them. I guess it doesn't sound cheesy so much as arrogant, but, you know, because I feel that whoever is
in a quarter mile, turn right onto Novato Boulevard.
A great asset to their company and will take their company to the next level by doing as such. So I might hire the company that I'm interviewing. That's the way I look at it, man. There's some things that I have confidence.
Turn right onto Novato Boulevard.
But my ability to work in an environment that I'm willing to do an interview for is one of them, you know? I mean, you know, it's, everyone's got their
Continue on Novato Boulevard for 1 mile.
Do to make them comfortable in an interview. And me, it doesn't take much, you know? I've got a great foundation of knowledge from my education. It's not like they're just going to frickin' quiz me, and if they do, bring it on. I'm not someone who's worried about saying, oh, I have no idea what you're talking about. Perhaps I wouldn't be that blatant about it, but no one likes a charlatan. No one likes someone that pretends that they do something that they really don't. It's just going to make you look bad. It's a sign of dishonesty. I'd rather be very honest, upfront. If I don't know of something, I will be sure to tell them, but I'm not going to make myself look like a jackass that's just ignorant in the process of doing as such. I maybe, you know, supplement an answer of I don't know with, but I have experience in education in this area. You know, there's never just a yes or no answer, in my opinion. But just important as answers, perhaps almost as important, depending on who you are, is questions. Being someone who's very interested in everything, be it the most mundane topics or something that does actually warrant interest from the average person, I am interested to know about everything. And the company in which I'm interviewing for is definitely not an exception. If it's a quality assurance position, I want to know what they're doing to assure the quality. I want to know what their standard, their good manufacturing practices are, their critical control points for their HACCP plan. I want to know all the basics, and then I'd like to know the little intricacies, the little idiosyncratic details, if you will. I like to know, you know, where's the company come from? What's the little things that they look into that they value that other companies wouldn't value as much? What makes them different? What makes them the same? What could I do to be a good company for them if I choose them? What are some of the things that I may or may not do, which they may or may not favor? You know, these are the types of things that you learn early on in the process, which you may never even talk about again. And, you know, there's not a company that I will work for if I don't ask any questions.
In a quarter mile, turn left onto Diablo Avenue.
If there was a company in any industry that I wouldn't have any questions, but, you know, genuine interest is definitely a, you know, it's something that I can't fake. Talking to me in just random banter, I will pick your brain apart about anything.
Turn left onto Diablo Avenue.
Signs in the ground, or installing lights at a stoplight, or, I don't know, production of Toyota cars, I will have a question about it, because all knowledge is very practical and informative in my opinion. It's good to know about as many things as you can. There's nothing that I'm just like, oh, well, I'll never use that. You know, it's not just that I have a random cache of information in my head. I like to know the mechanics of everything. I like to know the meaning of everything, the general thesis of why everything is the way it is. And that's just me personally. I just like to know how things work. Unfortunately, I'm not exactly a ShamWow when it comes to absorbing the information at hand. I'd say it's quite the opposite, depending on the topic of discussion. But, you know, I definitely am interested. And if it's something that really confuses me, it's probably going to make me that much more intrigued and lead me to study it that much more and learn it that much more. You know, it's I more or less like challenges. That's why I choose to do things that are the hardest, which isn't necessarily the best thing for everyone, but for me personally, you know, if there's something that I just don't understand the concept of at all, you can bet your sweet ass that in a week I will have put a great effort towards at least understanding the fundamentals of it. You know, it's just weird. I can't sleep at night if I just hear something that just doesn't click.
In 800 feet, continue on to DeLong Avenue.
It's just the way I am. But I'm feeling really optimistic about this place. It's called Nutiva. They're an organic company. They specialize in superfoods, if you will. Chia seeds, a lot of hemp products, coconut oil. A lot of parallels to the last company I worked at, Amy's Kitchen. That's an organic vegetarian food company. You know, personal views aside, I'm always willing to help out a company that has a very large market for it, regardless on what your beliefs are and the polarizing topics of what is or isn't healthy and what should or shouldn't be labeled, you know, legalized. There is a market out there for people for organic foods, and I'm not going to tell them what they should or shouldn't eat, what they should or shouldn't spend money on. And so long as there is a market, I'm going to do my best to make that market more efficient, even if it's at a smaller scale. You know, the best thing I can do.
In a quarter mile, turn right onto the US 101 ramp to San Francisco.
I can't work for a company that I don't believe in ethically. Companies, no matter what they be, might have a lot of things which I may or may not agree with, but I'm going to do the best I can to improve a company. And even if I have to do things that I don't agree with, I always put that behind me, behind closed doors, and when the opportunity is right, I do my best to improve it. You know, you won't see me working for a cigarette company, you know, just because I don't think there's anything wrong with people who smoke cigarettes, but it's just something that I don't feel that I believe I can improve. I don't know. I guess that's not a black or white subject, a bit of a gray area there. But suffice to say that this company is definitely a company I've read up on. They're new age. They're very much up and coming.
Turn right onto the US 101 ramp.
What I read. So, you know, hopefully things go well, and they're willing to invest a lot of time and ambition into me, and hopefully they have big things for me. And I'll
continue on US 101 for 11 miles.
Get a good response and some good opportunity. A lot of things that I want to do in my life, and you know, one thing I can't live without is hard work. So, be it this company or any other company, I'll do the best I can, the best for myself, which will in turn lead me to contribute the most to the world that I possibly can. Anyway, thanks very much.